Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 6-7 of the podcast. Sorry, I had to do it. Welcome in, everybody. Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday and a great New Year's Eve.
Yeah, Happy New Year. It's good to be back on the other side.
Yeah, first episode of the year.
You didn't tell them who we are.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you?
I'm Spro.
I'm Mr. Longbox.
Yeah, there we go. All right, introductions. We still haven't changed. Still the same.
Yeah,
as
we haven't changed
2025.
anything. Nope.
Yeah, we had a good New Year's. We were trying to figure out a invincible card game.
Yeah, that took about an hour and a half on New Year's Eve, and we got as far as understanding like the setup for the main character. And the general gist of what you're trying to do. We still don't really understand. And there's like two other main components of the game that we didn't even try.
Which in hindsight is good because it would have been info overload if we would have tried to learn all of it. So it's like we know how to set up the character. So now we just got to figure out the next step, and then
You got villains and you got a city.
yeah,
We're working on it.
Yeah.
If anybody's played the game, has any hints for learning it faster, let us know. But other than that, we'll let you know if it's fun or not.
yeah. And well, there's my show and tell. So
Then we'll start with the.
yeah, I
I guess
guess
you're going first.
yeah. Well, today we'll do show and tell, small bit of news, and then I don't know. We don't really have anything, so I'll probably just yap.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We greatly appreciate it. Like this video if you enjoy it. If you're wondering why we say that every week, or if you're wondering why YouTubers say that in general, we don't just say it because we love numbers and love having a lot of numbers. We say it because that type of engagement lets YouTube know that the people that are watching like the content. And so it helps push this content to people who they think might also like the content. Yeah. So it's just a great way to help us. So yeah.
Yeah. And plus, I like reading your comments.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So it's fun.
all right. So let me just go ahead and break out my show and tell. As you guys have already
Should I
seen.
do a drum roll? The suspense is killing everybody.
My show and tell is X-Men 130, graded in PSA. This is a newsstand copy as well. And for you audio listeners, this is a PSA slab 9.4 white page newsy. Throw it up right there again. This was not. Well, I guess I was looking for the book because if I go on eBay and I type in X-Men 130, if I see a good enough price, I'm gonna get it. But I wasn't expecting to get this because this was actually a bid. And I got this for about like $120 below FMV.
Wow.
Which is essentially 50. I got it 50% of FMV essentially. Yeah, it was pretty cool. This is a book that I've been wanting for a while. I don't know that I'll have it for too long. I'm specking on it, and I'll let you guys know why I'm specking on it in a minute. Just like, oh, interesting. But yeah, so I do have a raw copy in my inventory at the office. But yeah, this I was like, the Taylor Swift hype is down, so.
I love this book. I've always loved this book. It's a funny story. This book came out in 1980, and basically 6 months before I started collecting, maybe a little longer. And by the time it had come out, Dazzler issue 1 had also come out. So this book, I mean, even back then, in the moment, the Claremont Byrne X-Men were super hot, very popular, and they cost. But this one was one that was really just out of my range back then at whatever I was, 13 years old. I couldn't really afford it. It was anywhere between $35 and $40. And so what I opted for instead was the $5 less. And $5 was everything to me back then.
Sure.
$5 less was X-Men 137, which was the Death of Phoenix. But this one always was like hovering outside of my range. And I managed finally to get it. I don't remember why. I must have got extra tips on my paper route or something like that. And that book I still have in my collection. And I finally got it graded. I think it came back a 9.4 also.
Something like
that.
But
the thing is, the disadvantage for me was that I have so much sentimental attachment to it because of what I just said. I could not bring myself to sell it when all the Dazzler, Taylor Swift, Deadpool,
Yeah.
Wolverine hype was at its height, and this book was flying off the shelves. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And now it's come down. I mean, if I'd been less emotional, I would have sold it and then bought it back. But then it wouldn't have been the book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I've long since given up the dream of not being emotional about my comics, especially the ones I bought as a kid. I think that's part of the fun for me. But this book, beautiful cover, the colors on it are just really, it's just a really great book. Just eye appeal. Dazzler's been around a long time, never really figured out what to do with her, but she is X-Men adjacent and for a time was a member of the X-Men. But I mean, look at this. I mean, okay, it's first full appearance of Dazzler, first cover appearance of Dazzler, but then first full appearance of Sebastian Shaw, which was played by Kevin Bacon. You were just reminding me. And then second appearance of Emma Frost, second appearance of Kitty Pryde, and it's part 2 of the Dark Phoenix saga. I mean, there's so much going for this book.
Yeah.
That it's a great pickup, and I'll let you explain why you're specking on it.
I just gotta say, I love that you were holding it like it was your show and tell.
I know. I hijacked your show and tell. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not upset or mad at all. It's funny because you do have a lot of affection for this book.
I do.
So you provided more history than I definitely would have.
It's one of those books where I irrationally want a stack of them.
Yeah.
You know, that Daredevil 158, Daredevil 168, and a couple others that I just wish I had a stack of them, just so I could fan them and say they're mine. It's totally irrational and stupid, but there you go.
So the reason why I bought this, because you guys know I'm selling my personal collection. I sold my ASM 50 most recently, and I'll be selling a few more. I don't know I have a show tomorrow. I don't know what slabs I'll be bringing, but so I'm just not buying stuff for myself because I'm saving up for some bigger books. But the reason why I picked this up was because when you get a book at 50% FMV, it's kind of hard to not pick it up. And I'm specking on it because I actually think Sabrina Carpenter might be a good cast to play Dazzler. Obviously, no idea if if Dazzler's even in the pipeline for Marvel. But Sabrina Carpenter has taken the world by storm the last couple of years. She's one of the biggest pop stars. She actually has a history of acting. She started as like a child Nickelodeon star and then moved into singing. So she's checking the boxes.
Yeah.
She's blonde. I don't know is Dazzler blonde or is that? Yeah. She's blonde. So I think and she has that global appeal.
She does.
That Marvel would probably be interested in for the character. So I think the fact that this book has come back down, I spec on books that I like. I'm not gonna like really. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like I spec on books I like, and then I spec on a book that I like. I feel like it's no doubt in my mind that this is gonna pop,
right?
Even if I don't necessarily like the book, but if I like the book, I don't necessarily have to be confident that it's gonna blow up, because if it doesn't, I'm like, well, I like the book, so I don't care.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about this book. Is like, even if it's some relative to Sabrina Carpenter, even if it's some no name that becomes Dazzler, like I'm not gonna be upset that I bought this book.
No. And if all else, and all else won't, but if all else were to just falter and fail as far as specking on this book, it's still a Byrne Claremont X-Men. Like,
yeah, it's true.
It's that whole run is a blue chip run.
Yeah.
So any book from that collection is a good book. But even within a blue chip collection or a blue chip run, you have underrated books, which is so bizarre to me. But I guess it's just camouflaged by so many other bright keys within that run.
Yeah.
But that book, man, I'm telling you, that book is got so many things going for it. And all it really needs is for the right actress to play Alison Blair.
Yeah.
Because as I've said before on this podcast, that was always Stan Lee's idea. He had this vision of a multi-platform property.
Yeah.
That would be, of course, in the comic books, but then from the comic books spring into the movies, and then also have actual record hits back when you call them back then. And it has also this really cool thing here. I'm doing it again, but I got at least I'm not going to hold it. All right. It's 1980. So they concepted this 78, 79, right? it's all the hot disco stuff.
Yeah.
Disco was everything in 1977, 78, so Saturday Night Fever, all that
Yeah.
stuff, right? I mean, look at the trade dress. It has the lights.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Look at Alison Blair. You can't tell her, but she's wearing mirrored roller skates.
Yeah.
And then the disco ball, where is it? It's somewhere, it's on here. It's right behind her, I think. There's a disco. Is it on the cover?
Oh yeah, it's like right over her
Yeah.
right shoulder.
It's just everything about it is the disco era, which people soundly rejected just like within months of this book coming out. It was very bad timing for Marvel. But I don't know if you remember that song, the song that by the band called Chic, dating myself here, but I'll attach to something that'll bring it more into the present. It's the book that was sampled for Rapper's Delight. It's that song, and the song was "Good Times" by Chic, and in it, they're talking about having a good time and going out and being on the dance floor and all that. But one of the lines it ends with, they're out there partying and something and roller skates, like roller skate dancing was like this really fringy club kind of disco thing.
That was the thing,
and
yeah.
there it is. Like I love the pop culture of this. This is quintessential 70s disco. Even though it's a 1980s book, a great book.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like it. I've Newsy.
And it's a newsie, dude. Wow. Yeah. That's a beautiful book.
Yeah.
It's one of those books I just like to stare at. I love anyway, I'll stop talking.
It is, yeah.
All right, so my turn.
Yep.
Okay, so mine has a brief story behind it.
Imagine he whipped out a 9.8 Newsy Mark Jeweler 130.
Yeah, Trump card. I mean to say. So you, Joshua, you're part of the story of this, and I'm just going to show it first, and I'll tell the story behind it after. But here it is. Or should I tell the story first? What do you think is best?
Tell the story first.
All right. Sorry, gang. Okay, the story behind it is short, and Joshua, you were a part of it. We're up at my sister's place in Northern California, and my parents, they're both in their mid 80s. They came over, and so we're all hanging out together. And my dad busts out this box of comic books, and the story behind it is he knows a guy who is younger and is a dealer, collector, whatever, but he, like all of us, gets his hands on comic books and doesn't know what to do with them. And so he has this sort of side thing where he gives them away, like veterans groups or senior citizen homes, because older people have an easier time reading comic books and enjoy those. And anyway, so somehow or another, my dad, he gave my dad some. Maybe I don't know if it was because he's older or because he mentioned that I'm into comics. But he had this box and he said, "Do you want to take a look at them?" And of course we did. I mean, that's always really fun for us. And we because my dad says, "Yeah, he had books from the 70s and the 80s," and all of a sudden we're thinking, we can imagine where our minds went. But anyway, so he brought these books and we just kind of spread them out on the table, you and I, and we just kind of went through them. And there really wasn't anything of monetary value, which would make sense. The guy knows what he's doing. He's done but there was this book right here. And well, I'll show it first. It is Batman, Superman, issue number 20, Frisson cover. And as you know, I'm a huge collector of Jenny Frisson. I just have a pull at my LCS. Anything Frisson does, just pull it for me.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking for a good deal on older Frissons. And I think my last show and tell was the Voltron with their first artwork. So I just never knew she drew Superman. Somehow that escaped me. I did not know. I have one Batman that you found for me at TorpedoCon.
Yeah.
And so I have that. It's a black and white. But I didn't have any idea that she did Superman at all. And so that's one that now has double value to me because I would like it if I found it in a dollar bin at a comic shop or whatever. I'd been really stoked to get it. But it will always be one that my dad acquired for me, which is really cool, And a long time ago, early in our podcast's history, I brought in a Superman 67 that I picked up as a kid. And I remember sharing that with you guys then, that was that was the first time like I showed it to my dad, and he really took an interest in my hobby because now I was into books that he remembered.
Yeah.
You know, it's from the mid 50s. So anyway, all this everything just kind of aligned for me to really, this one instantly has sentimental value for me.
Yeah.
What's the monetary value of it? Probably $1. Like, you know, I mean, it doesn't really have any monetary value, but that's the cool thing about this hobby is it doesn't have to. It's, do you like the book? And no one can tell you that your reasons for liking a book are not good reasons. They're your reasons. And the hobby can be enjoyed on so many levels, you know.
Yeah.
Specking on a book, or for me, that book because it has personal history for me.
Yeah.
This one because of how I acquired it, you know, the story behind it. It's like a tattoo, except not. You know?
Somehow your dad gives you a Jenny Frison.
I mean, the odds.
How?
Yeah, right. The odds of that are so slim, and a book that I would have gravitated toward no matter what.
Yeah, you know, you should get your dad to sign it, and then get Jenny Frison to sign it at a con.
That would be actually epic.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I wonder if he would do it. I mean, he would do it, but he would probably like shake his head, like, "Why am I doing this?"
Yeah.
I would say, but future me would thank me for that,
Yeah.
and future me would probably berate me for not doing it.
Yeah. I just thought of it now.
Darn.
If I would have remembered when we were up there.
Like, Dad, will you sign it?
Yeah.
You know, sign it wherever you want, I guess, you know, over the I don't, just not over somebody's face, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you get Frison's signature. And I could I would, if she was curious, I'd just go, yeah, my dad got that book for me. So I asked him to sign it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to.
Yeah.
You know? That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I might even just send it to him and say, sign it, because
Yeah.
I don't know when we'll get back together
Yeah.
until maybe, I mean, it's January, you know,
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. That would be fun. Nice. All right.
All right, yeah, wow, that's cool.
Some cool show and tells.
Yeah,
Just a wee bit of news here. A wee bit of news. I don't remember if we talked about this before, but they cast Brainiac for the new Superman movie.
who is it?
Lars Eidinger. Like a nobody. I think he's like a German or like a Swedish actor or something, and has like pretty much only exclusively done movies like in those countries.
Okay.
So I mean, he looks the part. This dude looks like Brainiac even without.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, that's
he's
great.
got that. I mean, there's Brainiac right there. He looks the part for sure. So it looks like it'll be pretty good. Okay, this is some very interesting news. Have you ever seen any Jordan Peele movies?
Yeah.
Get Out.
Get Out freaked me out.
Yeah, that's a creepy movie. So somebody, a leaker account on Twitter tweeted, Marvel Studios reportedly wants Jordan Peele to direct an MCU film. That was leaked by Daniel RPK, but another random Twitter account posted it out, but gave Daniel RPK credit. And then Jordan Peele's production company, Monkey Paw Productions, quote retweeted it with eye emojis, like the like
Oh wow.
ones that are open, and they kind of have just been like leaning into it.
I wonder what it would be.
Yeah,
If it were DC, I would say Martian Manhunter all the way.
yeah. So you know,
Absolute Martian Manhunter.
people said Blade, and then they made a follow-up tweet that said, when the internet thinks you're making a Blade reboot because you said, and then the eye emoji, and they posted a picture of Jordan Peele as a vampire from one of the Key and Peele skits. So
Wow.
I don't know, Jordan Peele's got a crazy mind, man.
Yeah. So I say that if he could do absolute Martian Manhunter, which I haven't read yet, but I know it seems from what I've heard about it that it would fit his aesthetic, but it doesn't matter because it's DC.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, apparently the Blade movie is just in production hell. Who knows if we'll ever get that made. I don't remember if I saw it on a YouTube video or if I saw it on Twitter, but somebody had said that it's in production hell because of Mahershala Ali, the actor. Like, he's just being like very technical about the story and everything, and Marvel is just kind of letting him like being like, all right, all right, all right.
Really? You typically don't. You don't really want to
But now
be
it's
taking
getting
direction from your actors. I think.
yeah, but now it's gotten to the point where it's like, okay, this movie. I think they announced this movie in like 2017, 2018. So it's like we're almost 10 years from that. So it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, you said no. Rumors have said that you said no to these scripts and no to these directors. That by the time the movie comes out, if it ever comes out, it better be perfect.
Right.
Like, it better be the best dang Marvel movie any of us have ever seen.
I mean, yeah. I don't. I wonder. Yeah. It lives in between genres, right? I mean, Blade it's a Marvel movie, but it's not, like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and maybe it shouldn't feel like a Marvel movie, you know? And what does a Marvel movie feel like? We just watched a trailer for Mr. I almost said Mr. Wonderful. Isn't that funny? For Wonder Man,
Wonder Man.
that didn't feel like a Marvel movie at all.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they should lean into with something like Blade, you lean more into the horror side of it and less, or do you lean more to focus on Blade as the superhero, because
Yeah.
you could go either way.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the appeal of Jordan Peele. The appeal of Jordan Peele is the fact that, like, I mean, his horror track record is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Or maybe he wants to try something new.
yeah. I mean, who knows? I think a period piece would be cool, but I don't think they would want to do that. I guess Marvel has done period pieces, because I guess you could technically call Fantastic Four a period piece.
What about, and I've long said this would make a cool movie or series, at least, would be the 1602, Marvel 1602.
Oh yeah.
Probably not a movie, probably like a 6-episode or 8-episode TV show. It'd be cool, right? Each one
They
different.
briefly did it. They did for like maybe an episode or two in What If. I don't know if you ever saw those.
No, it was like, is that season 2?
I think it was season 1.
Oh, I don't know why. I feel like I watched the whole season 1. Although I don't know, because I just recently watched Defenders, and I'm not sure if I think maybe I was watching it for the first time, which didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Or at least the first few episodes. I don't know. But yeah, that would be well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah. I don't know. If he's interested, he's popular. His name is money.
Yeah.
People will go see
Yeah.
just based on that alone.
Right.
So give him the right property.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of like what else. I mean, it'd just be interesting to see him do anything, really.
Right.
Like there's not really. Yeah. You just put him behind anything, and it's just, like you said, his name is money, because it's going to be interesting and weird. Like,
Yeah.
it's just going to be a unique twist on whatever it is. So yeah, I'd be down to see a Jordan Peele, anything really.
So I was looking at my collection, because I've got a little time off. So you
Yeah.
get, you ever do that where you're just like, I haven't looked at it in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm buying, bagging, boxing, but I haven't really looked at them in a while. Just gonna take a couple short boxes down, go through them. I have a good collection, man.
Yeah.
I like my collection,
Yeah.
but I also have to admit that I have too much.
Right.
I have too much of my collection.
Yeah.
And I got to find a way to, I'm going to have to buckle down and let some things go to
Yeah.
make room for the new interests,
Right.
old quests that I was on that I've not really pursued for a while, let them go,
Yeah.
like talked about the Star Wars. And by the time this airs, I think I will have divested myself of almost all of my original series Star Wars books, because I'm going to bring them in to your acclaim sale tomorrow, which, if you're watching this on Monday, was 2 days ago. So,
Yeah.
but there was a time where, and by a time I mean like 1994, 1995, before they even announced the prequels, where I thought, it'd be fun, is because nobody's talking about anymore. They're out of fashion. Would be to pick up all the Star Wars ones, from the 1 to 107, just pick them up whenever I could. So I started to do that, and I got maybe halfway, and then I just lost focus and interest in it, and just moved on.
Yeah.
So now I have like half a short box of these old Star Wars books. I've been lugging them around
Yeah.
forever, and I think it's time to, I made the decision. It's time to take those and let them move to a new home. And it made me think of Brandon, from Mon Comics, because I think it was about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where he just made the decision. and he put a video out about it. Where he's like, I thought I was gonna try to get all the Fantastic Fours, the first 100 issues or whatever it was, and then he just decided it wasn't fun for him anymore.
Yeah.
He just wasn't enjoying that quest anymore, and he just decided to trade, sell, whatever, those books and keep a few that he really likes, and then transition to something else. I think there's a lesson in that. Like I think to try to hold on to all of it, it becomes just stuff.
Yeah.
It's just stuff. And I've got a lot of stuff in my collection. It's nice stuff, but it's still like, why did I buy this again? Or what was I thinking? Why do I still have 3 copies of Green Lantern Longbow Hunters, from the late 80s? What am I doing with that stuff?
Yeah.
So we talked about goals last time. I got to add that to it. Like one of my goals for 2026 is to, at the end of the year, have less comics than I started, which is saying a lot because I know going into the year, I'm going to buy a lot of books because that's what we do, new books, old books, whatever. But I actually want to have a net negative in terms of numbers of books.
Right.
May not be monetary value, but numbers of books has got to go down.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's easy to track now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're plus what, 5 now? Because you bought 5 from me yesterday.
Okay, so that's the thing. This is the deal. This man here is in the business, literally, of acquiring collections. So you couple that with the fact that he knows intimately what it is that I like.
Yes.
So, and he's looking out for me like any friend would, right? So
I have to give you first crack. Like,
yeah.
I know I'm doing you a disservice as far as like your space goes, but I would feel worse if I didn't give you first crack and I put the book up on to a claim sale and then you were like, oh, I think I would have liked that.
Yeah. I appreciate it and hate it at the same time.
So
no,
trust
I don't
me,
hate
I
it.
feel like as good as I feel about giving you first crack, there's also a part of me that's like, I feel a little bad because I know he doesn't want to add more, but I don't want to face the music if I don't give him first crack and I put this up in a claim sale and somebody else buys it and he's like, oh man.
And listen, there was no way I wasn't going to acquire this particular collection that you presented. And what it was the full 5-issue run of Daredevil Man Without Fear from the 90s, Frank Miller writing and art and covers. Great story.
Yeah.
Just eye-popping covers.
Yeah.
And the interior art I haven't even looked at yet, but I've flipped through it before.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've read it, but it's been a long time,
Yeah.
But anyway, amazing stuff and ridiculous I don't have it already.
Yeah.
Being that this such a huge part of my what I love about collecting. And it's from that collection.
Yeah.
And by that collection, it's the second collection that Joshua bought. And these books, for the most part, are just white pager, immaculate,
Near mint,
yeah. Probably unread. The guy was literally buying every month, just everything, almost like an Edgar Church.
Yeah.
Plus 60 years.
And he stored it very well.
Yeah. And exactly. And so he pulls these out. He showed them to me, and not only the 5, but then also the boxed cardboard display, unopened, sealed, whatever, of the
collector's
same thing,
edition,
collector's edition. And then it really was a question of, do I get both from you or which one? But in the end, I bought the single issues because I really did want to be able to see all the covers and open them up and read them and enjoy them. So that's what I went for. And you gave me a stellar deal on them anyway. But the issues, these are thick books. So now I go to Joshua's. The point of it all was for me to grade a bunch of those Star Wars books to get them ready to sell. And bag and board them and double board them like you do and all that stuff. And, for the purposes of clearing out my collection. And all that ended up happening was I left with 5 more books. And my eye on a few others too, because you showed me, what was that book you showed me that had Elektra on the cover? It was a Wolverine from the 90s, but it was black and white. And who was the artist?
Yeah.
I'm going to...
Kubert.
It was Joe Kubert or was it Adam Kubert, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam Kubert. It was
Andy?
just... Andy Kubert, and it is like calling my name.
It's stunning.
It's stunning.
There was another book too.
Yeah, I know it. And
I was just like, don't worry, I'm not gonna. I was like, I'm gonna put these back.
Yeah, he didn't have the heart to ask me to put me to the question that moment, but you kind of knew.
Yeah.
Because as he showed him to me, I looked at him, I drooled on him for a minute. I gave him back to Joshua, and then you watched my eyes follow you as you put them back in the box. I was like, where are they going?
Man, what was the other one? There was one more because I said it twice.
Yeah, it was another Wolverine cover, I
Yeah.
think, and it was. Oh no, it was, but I have that one already. It was Elektra like up above and like descending down on a Wolverine, and Wolverine's like this.
Yeah.
It was like one of those really hyper over stylized ones from the 90s,
Yeah.
popping colors.
There was another. It wasn't that because twice I said to you, "Don't worry, I'm not going to put this in the sale." So whenever you're ready. So maybe that one's not as important as the Elektra one.
Oh man, they're both.
But
they're
was it the Daredevil one where Elektra's skull?
Yeah, that's it. The skull cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one has to. Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the way, you sent me a picture of a limited edition David Mack Elektra.
Yeah.
With her, it was an homage of Daredevil 182, where you see Matt in his Daredevil costume, but no face mask, hugging Elektra's cross in the snow. And this one is reversed. It's Elektra holding the cross, and it says Matt Murdock. And it was David Mack limited edition of something, and it was
It's like 500 or something.
it was ridiculous. It's crazy, and I just fell in love with the cover, but there's no way, right?
Yeah.
But I bought the poster.
Oh, there is a poster?
I found a poster. I found it for sale, and it
Oh,
arrived
nice.
today. I almost was going to
sweet.
bring it as a show and tell, but I really wanted to talk about this one.
Yeah.
But that, and that's what I told you. I think it was Christmas Eve. You showed that to me, and I'm like, well, maybe I can find it as a poster because I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But it would be counterproductive for me to spend $300-400 on the book when the book is small and hard to display anyway.
Right.
If there's a poster of it,
Right.
and this feels like it ought to be a poster.
Yeah.
And a lot of David Mack stuff becomes posters. So like that arrived today.
Yeah,
I haven't
wow,
even
nice.
opened it yet.
Nice.
And it came. It's crazy because sometimes you buy a poster often and it comes rolled up. This one came flat, that big.
Oh, wow.
So it was 11 by 14 or whatever, 11 by 17.
Yeah.
And it just came in a cardboard much bigger on either side.
Wow.
That's how it was shipped. So
Nice.
okay, cool. I was hoping for something else to arrive today, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You know what it is. I'm not going to tell you all what it is because that'll be hopefully something for next week.
Yeah. I still have your poster that you gave me. I haven't gotten a frame for it yet, but there's no room in here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know it's very much going to be like what I've got going on in my office. I've got every space of my walls covered.
Yeah.
And then if you go look behind the door of my office, there's a stack of about 6 posters that are framed that I can't fit up. And so I just rotate them.
Yeah.
Because which is cool because you kind of get bored and you're ready to look at something different. And
Yeah.
one time we were going to a collection that you picked up and the guy, Alonzo,
Yeah.
and he just said, "Here, you want?" I'm like, "Oh, that's a cool." It was a huge FF poster of an Alex Ross cover,
Yeah.
and one of the iconic ones with Galactus in the back. And I just like, wow, that's amazing. And he just goes, "You want it?" I'm like, "What?" Yeah, and I felt like Harry Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life. That's my trick ear. What do you? I thought I heard you say it was no charge, kind of thing. But again. Not that uncommon in the comic book community. Everybody just, you give and you get and you give, and it's fun.
Yeah.
But that one's next to go on the wall.
Did you get a frame for it?
It actually is already in a frame.
Oh, right. That's right.
So I'm going to pop it up.
Yeah.
I have the spot. I'm just going to rotate something out and put it
Yeah.
in. Problem is, I do some work in that office, like actual work with like Zoom work, where I'm having a meeting with whomever,
Yeah.
and you know how it goes. Like there's certain things that you're like, maybe I'll change up the posters I need to look a little less,
Professional.
a little more professional.
Yeah.
Although I feel weird saying that because it is who I am after all. But at the same time,
I mean, there's
there's facets of who I am, and,
Sure.
and so that doesn't quite fit when I'm talking to the president of the university.
Right,
necessarily.
yeah.
Although he doesn't care. But maybe the president or some professor from some other university. I want to look like a little bit.
just, it's all tack. It's all,
But the funny thing is, if we actually really, if in that hypothetical situation, probably 9 times out of 10, if we both like put our guard down, it wouldn't surprise me at all if that person would be totally into it.
totally. Yeah. I mean, that's just like how, I mean, schools are corporate in and of itself, but that's just like how the whole corporate thing is. Like when you're interacting with your coworkers, you're holding up your corporate persona,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't. And then as time goes on, there's like little hints here and hints there, and then you end up realizing like, wait, me and this person have way more in common than we were letting each other see.
Yeah.
And then you're like, whoa, we're just as much weirdos as
Isn't that a fun thing though when that happens and you realize like you feel yourself making a friend? Like it's a cool experience. You're like, I actually like this guy. Like we could go do stuff together. We could hang out.
Yeah.
You know, and that happens so easily when you're young. But as you get older and into your world and your family and your career, those opportunities, they don't seem to come up because you put that veneer up that you just described so much, you know, and you don't. So it's really cool when it does.
Yeah.
Like, you know, for you and me, it was just happened because, you know, we didn't, we're family. So, you know, but that was awesome too. But
I had to have my corporate self up when I first met you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know. Sometimes I forget that we're even son-in-law and father-in-law, you know, because we're friends. But yeah, there was, you know, probably the longest conversation I had with you was, you know, initially was when we sat down at Steeple, you know, and you're like, hey, I mean, it wasn't hey, it was very formal, but you were asking for my blessing to propose to Dara, and that was up until that point probably the longest conversation we had.
Yeah, that was like what, like almost 2.5 hours, I think.
Yeah,
I had to go back to my boss and I was like, sorry, I did not. And he's like, no, I get it. I was like, it's just you're having a conversation, and then you're just finding at what point do you ask, and then you're like so nervous to ask that it's like you're almost just like foregoing it for as long as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to put myself in your shoes. I didn't have that opportunity when I proposed to Deb. She didn't really have much of a relationship with her dad, so you know, and her mom wouldn't, you know, she had a great relationship with her mom, but it wasn't one of those things where I'd ask her mom, you know.
Yeah.
And they lived in another state. I never really, you know.
Yeah.
But then I got to know her mom and we had a great relationship, but I didn't have to go through that.
Yeah.
But I can imagine. And I feel like I'm a pretty approachable person, but it would be scary no matter what.
Oh yeah. I think everything about it is nerve wracking. Like even proposing, it's like, you know, they're going to say yes. I mean, hopefully, you know that they're going to say yes. And in my case, I knew she was going to say yes, but it was still like the most nerve wracking thing in the world. Like, I mean, driving to where I propose and just like, like how in the world am I supposed to hold a normal conversation right now? Like you're expecting me to be on this hour-long drive where I'm about to propose to you, and you want me to talk about like how was work? I don't know how work was. I have been blacked out all day long. Like I don't know how work was. I don't even know if I was at work.
Yeah. This thing is eclipsing everything else.
Yeah, so
that's so true. I when I proposed to Deb, I was really surprised at how scared I was.
Yeah.
And how nervous and how emotional it really kind of all was, because I knew she was going to say yes. She was waiting.
Yeah.
You know? And I, you know, finally got the ring. I finally, you know, and scraped up the money to get the ring and all that. And then, it was like, do I do it now? How do I get into it? What's the moment? You know, and it was really, it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to do that, but I don't know if it's hard. It's not hard because you think you're going to say no. It's just, and it should be, there's so much gravity to it.
Yeah.
Like you are saying something out loud. That is literally forever.
Yeah.
If you believe what we believe.
And you're changing your life.
Yeah.
Like you're going from single, either living with your parents or living on your own, and then just completely changing everything in your life.
And it does, the change begins as soon as they say yes.
Yeah.
Immediately, you're shifting into, of course, wedding planning mode, you know, and all that, but just the nature of relationship changes.
Yeah.
Like the first time you introduce your girlfriend as your fiance.
Yeah.
It feels so strange, right?
Right.
You know, but anyway, yeah, those are fun moments in life though, for sure. But yeah, that was the longest conversation we had up until that point, for sure.
And now we've beaten that, but a billionfold.
Yeah, I know, right? So a billion is probably true. But you know, back to my point is, so you know, it's when I was maybe it was just me because I was a kid and I'm only seeing it through my own eyes. But I remember being ashamed to be a comic collector as a kid. Like I didn't want the other junior high kids to know.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want them to see me at the local convenience store at the spinner racks. In fact, when I saw them come in, I would kind of move off and go take a look at the candy. Like me and my friend, it was something that we just felt we would have been teased for, and probably would have been. You know, it was definitely something that was looked at as a kiddie thing.
Yeah.
You know, why are you looking at kids things? That's not true anymore though, right?
I don't know. I feel like the Marvel movies have helped. Like I think everybody kind of like has this understanding of like this property is cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you walk into this, like, I mean, I've had friends come into this office, and they're like, they'll say like it's cool, but there's definitely like a part of me that's like, this is not normal. Like,
no, it isn't.
Like, and like my Pattinson figure shrine over there,
Yeah.
like it's very much like not. You don't walk into. I'm pushing 30. Like you don't walk into 30-year-olds.
Well, look about me. I'm 58. You know, walk into my thing. I've got Funko Pops and Fantastic Four stuff everywhere. You know?
But I mean, I don't know. I'm not. I think I was talking with Dara about this. I don't know at what point in my life it happened. Maybe after I became a Christian, or like maybe a little bit after that. But there just came a point in my life where, no, it had to have been after that. I think it was like closer to the end of high school, or maybe early college, where I just like stopped caring what people thought about me because it just got exhausting.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, like I'm not changing anything about myself for you. Actually, no, it would have been early college because I think it was like a dating thing. I think that's where I was like, I'm tired of like being like the shapeshifter and like,
yeah.
like feeling like to approach a girl or like date a girl, I have to like hide certain parts of myself or like keep it secret until like a later point.
Yeah.
And then you just feel like a fraud the whole time.
Yeah.
But I mean, and with Dara, like neither of us felt like we had to like hide any part of ourselves. And I mean, you laid a foundation of like, oh yeah, my dad collects comics. Like, so like when she's like, oh, you're into comics? Like, yeah, my dad is too.
Yeah,
like, that's
it was not foreign to her.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like a weird thing or like, she's like, oh yeah, my dad used to game. Like I would sit and watch over his shoulder while he plays. So she's like, yeah, it's not like a weird thing. But so there came a point, I think it was probably before I met Dara, just before I met Dara, where I was just like, I'm not gonna care what people think, whether it's like another girl or like a friend, like a mutual friend, where I'm just like, nah, you know what, like these are the things that I like. There's nothing wrong with liking these things.
That's really good. Some people never arrive at that.
Yeah, and I think I get part of it from my dad because my dad is somebody who like really does not care what people think about him. Like he's very firm in what he likes and in what he believes. And so he's not going to be moved.
That's low key a superpower, It really is,
Yeah.
If you can somehow balance that with not being abrasive, like because the extreme of that is to be like unlikable, and your dad's not unlikable at all.
Yeah.
Like your dad's really funny.
Yeah.
But you kind of have taken that to the next level. Like you tell me, I don't care what people think. But your persona doesn't project like any of the negatives of that at all.
Yeah.
You're just, you may not care, but it doesn't make you not care about the person
right
that that's in front of you. You're just not going to change who you are. That's interesting because then I think back to that fight that I had with my friend Chris years when I went in between 5th and 6th grade.
Oh, right.
And that he spent the summer hanging out with some other guy who showed him the whole comic book thing. And then when we became friends again, he got me into it. That had an impact on me, which then prepared Dara to be like, oh yeah, that's cool that you're into comics.
Yeah.
Not saying that was a reason, but like, all this stuff is connected.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting to think about how even the little things were designed to prepare Dara to, not that she wouldn't have anyway, but to like that sort of that in you, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's funny. I remember that thing came out. It was like some kind of survey. All of us in the comic world, all of us men, we all know about it. We all saw it. It was like the least attractive hobby from a woman's perspective in a man is was literally collecting comic books. Right. That was literally what it was. And I was like, well, I'm not cooked. You're not cooked, because we are with the women who are fine with it, you know, or at least are really good fakes, you know. But I guess if you're single and you see that, don't despair, because in some ways that makes it a lot easier to not chase somebody. If they're not into that part of who you are, then you already know that's not the girl for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You save your money. Don't take her out on one more dinner. You know,
exactly. Yeah.
Your first date should be a convention, and then that's your acid test. You know, are they into it or not?
Yeah. Even we were watching. We rewatched Invincible recently because season 4 comes out in March. So just like getting like a little bit of a refresher on everything that happened. And so we're rewatching it, and Mark dates this girl Amber for like most of the first and second season, and it's just like they don't work. Like
everything's a struggle, right?
Yeah, like he's got to do a superhero thing, and she's like, yeah, go, like I understand, go do it, but she's actually like not really like comfortable with it. And then he's into comic books, and she seems like it's more of like, yeah, this is like a cool part of you, like sure, like, and she's more like acquiescent, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Like about it all, and not that she's like against it, but she's not like behind him, like like go do this, like enjoy this part like of you. And so there's like a strong disconnect between the two, and then they end up breaking up, and then he ends up going out with Adam Eve, and it's like everything is just like like falls into place, like everything makes sense. Like she's a superhero, so she understands like that part of it. But even then, just like the small things in his life that like are kind of like his moment of rest in between the chaos of getting beat up by his dad, getting beat up by his dad's cousin, like whatever.
There's some deep stuff in his shows, man.
Yeah, exactly. And so and she's like such a champion for all those things. Yeah. And that's like the difference between like what makes it work with him and Adam Eve, and what doesn't make it work between him and Amber is like, it's like one's just like, sure, yeah, these, like, I'm not going to change these things in you, but yeah, go for it and like, yeah, have the hobby, as opposed to somebody who's like really championing, like, no, I want you to have this hobby. Like, I want you to like, engage with it.
If it's a part of you, and I love all of you, do it, you know? And they don't even have to be into it with you. Like, it's just that it's not a fight, you know?
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think most people who, I don't know what I think, but if you're watching this, I was about to say, I think most people who watch our podcast are probably married and stuff, but then I don't really know if that's true, but you would know better for the demographic. You check out the demographics on
well, it doesn't say married or single.
Yeah, come on, we need to know. No, but seriously, the question that everybody single always asks, like, well, how do I know if this is the right one for me and all that? And it's obviously a complex question with complex answers, but one of the simplest ways to answer that question is to ask yourself, does this relationship feel easy, or does it feel like work?
Yeah.
If it feels like work and you're not married, it's probably not, I would say it's definitely not the right one.
Yeah.
If it's fraught with tension and stress all the time, and it's always, that you're with the wrong person.
Yeah.
Like the right person, when it fits. It's just, it fits, and you know it. And when people say, "Oh, I just knew," it's not magic, but it's easy to be with this person.
Right.
And you feel like it, you don't have to, you're not carrying the weight of a mask, or carrying the weight of hiding who you are. And doesn't mean they're into everything you're into. They may not want to go to a comic book convention with you, but they'll be excited to hear you and see you show what you got, because you're excited about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's like real quick marital or relationship advice for you right there. If you're in a relationship, if it's a new year and you're trying to make resolutions, or what's going to make your life better. If you're in a relationship, not a married one. If you're married, you're married. But if you're in a dating relationship and it's just always work, and your resolution was this year I'm going to work really hard to make this relationship work, maybe you got to consider a different relationship if that's really where you are. You know, shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, that's what I knew. Like, Darren and I were going to get married because everything was easy. And I still, even like the hard things were easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not to say there's not hard things, but the hard things are easier to go through.
Right.
Like when you're just kind of firing on all cylinders and you're on the same page, or you're able to get on the same page and work through those things. And
that kind of peace in your home is what you want in life. Like you want your home to be the place where you don't have to fight.
Yeah.
Because you do have to fight outside your home. You know,
right.
In the workplace, out in the world, that's just the nature of the world. But when you come home, it needs to be a place where you can be supported and loved and have peace. Whether you're the husband or the spouse or the wife or whatever, it doesn't either way.
Yeah.
It just needs to be that. You need to be that for each other. And if you can't have that in a dating relationship, marriage isn't going to fix it.
Yeah.
It's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be, there's a long road to heartache down that path. So, but the good news is you only have to be right once.
Yeah.
And when you're right, it's great.
Yeah.
I remember being at when Deb and I were dating, and we went to the moment that I realized, okay, there's something here. Like there's something here, and I've known it, but I'm acknowledging it now. And we went to Costco. It's funny that would come up today. Went to Costco, and it was called Price Club back then. And we went, and I don't remember, just to pick up some stuff or whatever. We had been dating for maybe couple months, and we like we did what everybody does. We got hot dogs and pizza, whatever.
Heck yeah.
And we were just kind of leaning and kind of sitting on the hood of her 1987 Toyota Corolla, and
fire.
And I was just sitting there with the Pepsi and the hot dog, and we're just talking about nothing, whatever. It didn't matter. And we had just done something as mundane as it gets. Like we're gonna go and get some stuff, that we both need, and then we're gonna get some food, and we don't have any plans. We don't know,
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there, and it was just so easy.
Yeah.
And it was so enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I could do anything with this woman. It doesn't matter. And I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's just, I've never experienced that. And that's when I knew, okay, don't mess this up, Bob.
Yeah.
Don't screw it up.
Yeah.
This is special. You've never had this. And and we that's a memory that we both share. Like she remembers feeling the same way on that day. It's kind of cool.
Wow.
It was just like a vibe,
Yeah.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
I gotta show this as proof that you did get me this book.
Yes.
Um,
Please.
So, we did our gift exchange last episode a couple weeks ago, and Bob had, it's around here. I don't know where it is.
My efforts.
Yeah, but he printed the cover of this, but I want to give proof that he's good on his word. Here it is, Invincible 50. In near mint condition. This is the nicest copy I've seen.
Yeah, it's clean.
It's a very clean book. I just bought, this comic. Well, it's kind of funny. I sold this book signed by Ryan Otley to somebody, and they just sold it back to me.
They sold it back to you?
Yeah, so I got it back, and I was
Nice.
looking at it, and I was like, wow, this copy is like much nicer than that copy. Because I remember I was like, oh, maybe I'll keep this one because it's signed by Ryan Otley, but I was like, it's kind of doesn't look great.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just move on from it.
And
by not great is like VF condition, like not near mint. So when you told me near mint and then off eBay, part of me was like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
eBay near mint, you get
Totally.
a VG condition. But then you gave it to me and I was like, oh wow, this is actually like spectacular condition.
Yeah. It really is.
So-
I was so excited.
Yeah. So yeah. Season 2 of Invincible right there.
I was, it's a raw book, so you're putting your fate in the hands of the greater.
Right.
To some degree, you at least get a picture or two. And I mean,
Yeah.
I was scrutinizing the picture, and I knew you would prefer it raw, but I also wanted to give you one that was beautiful,
Yeah.
And so it said 9.4 plus, on that was what he said, and I'm like, all right, and but I had the same reservations as you, you know. So when I opened it before I gave it to you and looked at it, and I was, scrutinizing everything, I went, yeah, that's, because, you get a lot of books come in and out of your hands. The books that, that stay with you are the books that, not a lot because you're selling your PC, but there's some things you want to hang on to. An Invincible, a good run. You want the Invincible run, but you want it high grade.
Yeah.
And so I said, this one's got to be high grade. If it's not, it will rightly recirculate through his inventory. But if I get the one that's really perfect,
yeah,
so yeah, I'm glad.
So
I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it's in good shape because it would have been a bummer if it wasn't.
Yeah. So yeah, I have some. I'll just show them. I picked up some. Oh, I forgot I got this one. Hold on a second. I totally forgot.
And is it your goal to get all the issues of Invincible?
Yeah, all 144. All right, so check this out. This is Invincible issue number 19. This is the first appearance of Battle Beast. It's probably a 9.2, but it's probably higher than a 9.2. I don't know. I'm just, when it comes to keys like this, I'm always just like conservative, like very conservative. But I have it as a 9.0, probably a 9.2. But yeah, first Battle Beast. This is a huge book. This is one of the bigger books in the run. Then here I just have issue. What is this? 132 and 120. These are some being later seasons of the show. A little spoilery, so I won't get into that. But
man, that's really pretty.
Yeah, it's a sharp book.
Man, I love the colors. The cream isn't something you normally see on the back.
Yeah,
usually they're just gonna go with white.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
Yeah, Battle Beast is cool.
And Battle Beast, its own title. When did that come out? Because you just speaking of, you just sold me, or we traded. I can't remember whatever it was. Battle Beast 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think
6
and
up to 6. Yeah.
Which I'm gonna. That's on my docket for things to read.
Yeah.
But I have to mention, because we always talk about like, what are you reading right now and all that. Well, what I read most recently was yesterday in your office.
Oh yeah.
Which was, why don't you tell it? Because
no, you go for it.
Oh man, and I'm not going to spoil it or anything, but
yeah.
But it's the, I guess would you call it like the conclusion of all of the ultimate?
That's what they say.
Line? Yeah,
they say that's. I think if you look at its Ultimate Endgame mission number 1, if you open it on Key Collector, it's 5 issues. Because it says 5 issues on Key Collector, and then it says it's the end of the Ultimate Universe as we know it. That's what Key Collector says.
Okay, so it's Ultimate Endgame 1, and it's at the LCS right now. It just came out this week, and I'm wishing that I had pulled it because I'm afraid it's going to be gone before I get there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I show up to your office. You're like, hey, if you want to read it, now's your chance. Because I just picked it up. So you were getting kind of set up for us to do our grading, and I just sat there and I read this thing. Man, is it good.
Yeah.
It's really good. And the last page is a killer reveal.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say. But it was a killer reveal to the point where I had a reaction. When I turned a page. I was like, oh. And Joshua says, I was waiting. I was waiting for you to turn that last page to hear your reaction. Yeah. And that was not a disappointing reaction. It was basically the same reaction that you had, apparently. Definitely worth the read. And I haven't even read much of the whole universe, but I don't think it matters. Like I understand because it gives you a little synopsis. Like there's a little like what has come before almost page where you can read and kind of just set up, and then you just don't jump right in. It's what's so cool about comics,
Yeah, and I know comic writers, like they really want you to be able to pick up an issue no matter where you are in the run and be able to have full context and know what's what and who's who.
So my next question to Joshua was, is this coming out every 2 weeks or is it, and you're like, no, every month. And my reaction was, I gotta wait a month. But that means that's a good sign, when you don't want to wait a month for the next installment. So really, really good start. And I'm like, who wrote this? And I don't recognize the writer. So it's somebody new to me.
Denis Camp, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure this is not the first thing, but first time I've like noticed the name.
Yeah, he's writing was writing The Ultimates.
Okay.
So,
well, if you're looking for something that's coming out at the LCS that at least seems like it's going to be an amazing read, I would recommend it.
Yeah. I also read The Will of Doom, which is like the epilogue to One World Under Doom, which has been happening like the last year. And then I think they just refreshed Captain America, and Zdarsky was writing it. And like the first 5 issues of that was a Doom Captain America thing, tied in with One World Under Doom. So, I mean, this last year Marvel has just been pushing Doom, like, and I think, I mean, One World Under Doom and so many crossovers, and like they just had the Runaways comic, and Doom was like, the Doom bots were all on that cover, and Doom has just been on like every single Marvel title that's being printed in the last year. And I think they're really pushing and really kind of getting it set for Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they're just trying to get people familiar with the character of Doom. So anyways, The Will of Doom came out, and it was the epilogue to everything that happened, and I won't spoil it, but it was it was pretty good.
Yeah.
The epilogue was written by Zdarsky. I don't know who was writing One World Under Doom. Oh, Ryan North.
Yeah.
The guy who does FF. He wrote the One World Under Doom main title.
We've talked about it before, and I still haven't read it. I need to pull it out and set it on my desk so I remember to read it. And it's the Doom one shot that came out last year.
Oh, I haven't read it either.
And I think it's a futuristic story, and there's a crossover with Galactus, and I'm really interested in it. And I just keep forgetting to pull it out of my box.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that. In fact, I'm doing it today when I go home because I want to check that out. But
that was kind of what kicked off all the Doom stuff. That issue right there.
And you have the poster of cover A in your office.
Yeah.
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 Right?
And I have. Do you have cover A?
No, I have the cover B. I think it's just a no trade dress, and it's just Doom like on the cover and with black around him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, which is a cool cover, but I like it. I like that cover better than cover A, but cover A from a spec perspective was the better.
The money book, yeah.
Yeah.
I have all the covers. I have the Galactus cover. I have that cover you're talking about. I have cover A, and then they did a second print, and then I got the 1 in 50 second print.
Nice.
I got them all, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm having a hard time deciding these days with, like, Absolute Wonder Woman. The latest one, 15, came out, and cover A's. It's an okay cover, but there's other covers that are better.
I like the cover A.
See, yeah, but I don't know which one to spec on. If I were going to spec on it, I don't know. But cover A these days feels like the better play for the most part. Even if there's a cooler looking cover B to you, you kind of have to also get cover A though, because it feels like cover A is still considered the original because it is.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them, but I don't know. There's a one cover for one Absolute Wonder Woman 15 that's worth more than cover A, and it's not a ratio either.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I have Absolute Wonder Woman 1 if you're still looking.
I am, but the one, it's funny we talk about this. I don't want cover A. I want the Panosian cover,
okay.
which is more. But cover A is the better spec play.
Yeah.
This is how much. We'll talk about.
Yeah,
we'll talk about your Absolute Wonder Woman.
I have no answer to that right now.
I am interested in Absolute Wonder Woman 1, even the cover A. I think. But if things go well at the claim sale, I will no longer be in possession of Absolute Batman 1 as of the time anybody's watching this.
Yeah, and I just sold. I have my stack out 1 through 15, including the annual. I just sold it all 15, 16.
It's just one of those things. I want to hold on to it because I want it to be in my collection.
Yeah,
but I just feel experience is telling me you can get it back.
Yeah,
probably for less than you can sell it for today.
Yeah,
and unlike that story I told about this book, I have no sentimental attachment to Absolute Batman 1.
And I mean,
ready.
that would be a huge flip.
Yeah.
You would almost 3x.
Yeah,
It's like
3x,
two- 2.5
2.5x on
to
that.
three,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, not as good as people who were smart enough to buy it, off the rack, but
Man, I bought 3 copies off the rack. That's the final one that I originally possessed.
nice.
I sold 2 of them like a week later in a claim sale for $20 each because I was like, this book's not going higher than 20. Boy, was I wrong.
I know.
And then I bought another copy, which I sold to you,
Yes, thank you.
and now it's worth 3 times as much.
It is.
Than what I sold it. I could have literally waited a week after I sold it to you.
I know.
You
Thank
snatched it at the right time. Like it
did.
was. I mean, it couldn't have been any more perfect. Like the time that you got it.
for me to make good on that timing, I have to sell it. If I don't, it's possible that it comes back to 60. I don't.
People have asked me like, what do you think?
What's
Like
good?
I've had customers ask me like, yeah, what do you think this book is gonna do? I tell them like, I don't know. Like
know.
this book makes no sense to me at all whatsoever.
No, and then I don't know where it's going to settle. And then there's that wrinkle of that other later printing that if you pull off the cover,
Yeah.
you can. I mean, there's just a lot of intrigue around this book, but everybody's kind of viewing it as the flagship for the whole Absolute universe. So
Yeah.
and it isn't, because there's a prior book that showed some of the characters.
Yeah.
That I've heard, I think, Comic Tom talk about.
Yeah.
But speaking of Comic Tom, I just got to say this because he in one of his latest videos about on the hot books, I think Absolute Batman was number 1. What else would be number 1 right now? Right? It's like
Yeah.
number 1 every week as the hot book. But he asked the question rhetorically, when have we ever seen anything like this? And their conclusion was, we've never seen anything like this. And I could understand him thinking that because he's young.
Yeah.
But I would argue that Batman: The Dark Knight Returns was that very same kind of fervor and through the roof valuation, which eventually did settle back down. Kind of settled. The book settled between $40 and $50, but there was a point where it was going for a lot more than that.
Yeah.
We're talking in the 80s when that was, inflation wise, there was more. That was a bigger. It was expensive.
Yeah.
And but it's hard to really quantify it because we're still in the middle of it with Absolute Batman. We don't really know how high it's going to go.
Yeah.
If it goes much higher, then I have to agree with Comic Tom and say, yeah, this is unprecedented. Right now, to me, I see it on equal footing with The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
But the common denominator, of course, is the character, Batman. What is it about Batman?
Yeah.
We didn't see this for the Death of Superman. The Death of Superman made the news and all that, but it didn't have the value hype that the Batman books have had.
Yeah.
But I mean, did they not? They didn't short print Absolute Batman 1,
No. No.
but the demand is still outstripping
Yeah.
the quantity. Unless you think people are just holding, and you didn't. You're selling them.
I mean, because maybe I'm a fool to sell. I don't know. Like, I really don't. I don't know. I can't make sense of it. Like, it's not anything. I mean, it's unique, but it's just a different take on Batman. It's not creating new characters. It's not. It's all in Gotham. It's a different take on characters that we haven't really seen before. It's obviously a different take on Bruce. Like I can understand why issue 1 is where it's at, but like the issue 15 for the Joker is already a $15 book.
I know.
Like
It's a great cover though, man. Cover A is awesome.
Pretty much, yeah. No, it is, and pretty much you can go buy easily at your LCS cover A the week it comes out, right? For all of these books, guaranteed 2 weeks later, it's worth twice to 3 times as much. Like, so it's like almost every book in the run is worth. It's like pushing $20, and the further along that it goes, where it's like further from its release date, it just goes up a little bit more. So I'm just like, I don't know how to make sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's all of it, right? It's even the first Absolute Catwoman issues are $15-$20 for some of these books, and the first Harley Quinn and the Absolute Harley Quinn, the first Sandman, like all of it is just. Sorry, bang! All of it is crazy, but it's fun. Like I saw, I can't remember what the number was, but somebody published it. This is the number of units that DC moved of the Absolute Universe in 2025. Like, and it was huge. And all I thought was, that's awesome for the LCSs.
Yeah.
Good. that's good news for the LCSs, and they need to make money. I almost bought FOC online from one of my favorite sellers online. Where you can buy the new books, pre-order them, and they just ship them to you.
Yeah.
And I had it all loaded in my cart, and I had some of the absolute stuff, and a few, some of the variant covers, and this and that and the other. And then I came to pull the trigger, but and it's a fair price to ship. It was like $10 shipping, which is a really good deal, really, because shipping is not cheap anymore. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I'm like, I don't want to spend $10 on shipping. But I was able to not do it because I can reasonably expect that my LCS, which is 5-minute drive away, will have all these books.
Yeah.
And they will pull them for me.
Yeah.
But not everybody has that. We're blessed to have that. A lot of people have to drive 50 miles to find an LCS, or there isn't one. And so if you're interested in any of the pre-order online stuff, just DM me and I'll tell you the one I use because it's really good. I've tried a few.
Yeah.
And some of them come back and they get shipped and they're not really in good condition. This guy guarantees near mint.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious because I've been, thinking about 2026 and like what's next for Spro's Comics. And so that's like an evolution that I'm like thinking of. And so you guys can comment. How many of you guys are like close to an LCS, or how many of you guys order online?
How do you get your new stuff?
Yeah. And if you do order online, what is it like? Because that's like an avenue because I see on IG, there's some people like that I follow on IG, and they just like wait for their new comics to arrive because they have to order them online. So it's something that I've been like thinking about.
Getting a relationship with a distributor and getting your comics that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just like, because a lot of people buy obviously vintage stuff from me, but yeah, I'm curious if there's like a demand for like those same customers to buy new comic
get them
stuff
from you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if they're already, regularly picking up books from you at claim sales, then you just throw it into whatever, doesn't even cost shipping for them. They're already buying stuff.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah.
So
that would be kind of fun though too, because you get first dibs on incentives and ratios and things like that.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So
maybe if it's a volume thing, we could do it together.
Yeah. I don't know what I did look at it a little bit couple months ago, but I just kind of like did a flyover sort of thing.
But man, you want to talk about exponentially growing the number of comic books in your world.
Oh my gosh! Goodness gracious! I'm gonna need 2 offices.
I mean, I know everybody who's been with us since the beginning of this episode is saying, Longbox, you idiot! You can't do that. You just said you wanted to cut some of your collection down. You do this and you're going to have twice as many books by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And they're going to be piling up in the corners, and as many wonderful things I can say about my wife. She's going to draw the line when it starts to creep out of my office into the hallway.
Yeah. True. Oh man. Since we're talking about Absolute Universe, the Ultimate Universe is coming to an end, like we just said. Which I'm sad about because I've only really read Ultimate Spider-Man, but that's Hickman, one of the best writers, and Marco Cicchetto, my favorite interior artist.
Yeah.
And there's only one issue left of Ultimate Spider-Man, and I think it's so tough because it's like people are like, why are you ending it? Like Absolute is killing it for DC, and people like this Ultimate Universe. Like people love Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, why would you cut that down? Like, and DC seems to have absolutely no plans to end the Absolute Universe anytime soon.
They shouldn't.
So yeah, and I don't know. Is it like, do you end it while you're on good standing, or does ending it too soon kind of mess up your relationship with your readers? Like, I don't know. Peach Momoko has said that she's sad that it's ending and she wishes that she could keep writing Ultimate X-Men. I don't think Hickman is like a very public person. I'm not too sure. I haven't really heard him say anything, but yeah, I think
everything in me it screams they're not going to end it. and yet they keep saying they're going to end it. I mean, they are going to end it, but are they going to reboot it or something? Because you don't just put your golden goose out to pasture, you know. And that's I'm completely mixing metaphors, by the way. But you know, you ride that thing because it's a money generating, and it's not like Marvel has a whole bunch of winners right now. You know, it's always a tough margin for any comic book publisher, and they've got a just a bona fide hit on their hands. You would think they would keep going, but I respect that they want to like keep it tight and have this take the win and move on. I think that's what they'll do initially, but I do believe that won't be the end of it. You know, I have a question. I really don't know. It's ignorance on my part, but like I've got like Ultimate Fantastic Four. So do you. Ultimate. Is that the same universe? Because that's a long time ago. It's not the same, right? Or is it? I mean, it is. It is to some extent because based on what I even read yesterday. But
I don't know the nitty gritty details.
Because you know the Ultimate Daredevil, the Ultimate Daredevil and Elektra, the Ultimate Fantastic Four. They did these things.
I think it's different because actually the Daredevil in the current Ultimate Universe is a Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and like a Green Goblin in that old Ultimate Universe is like an actual goblin, like monster.
Ooh, that's cool.
And so I think it's like it's like the same but different, I think.
Okay. Well,
because
I'm curious.
The Maker is involved, and the Maker comes from that original Ultimate Universe. So,
oh man, that's such a good read.
And Miles is from the Ultimate Universe. Miles is
right, of course, yeah, right.
Because that Peter Parker dies. Sorry for spoilers, but if you've seen Into the Spider-Verse, that's what happens in the Ultimate Universe. That's exactly how he becomes, and then that's when they have to move. Secret Wars happens Secret Wars happens because they're like, oh, we need to merge these universes, and they're like, oh, we have a huge hit on our hands with Miles Morales, so how do we get him to 616? So he comes over to the main universe via Secret Wars, or the result of Secret Wars, and so, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just hard to believe they would pull the plug on something that's clearly a winner for them. But, you know, they've done dumb things before.
Yeah. Yeah, truly.
I mean, this is the time, probably not the time to be try to be noble, man. If people like what you're creating, keep creating it.
Yeah, people have not liked the Amazing Spider-Man title for a long time now.
Yeah.
I think people are exhausted with John Romita Jr. and just his art is not what it used to be. And then I think people want to see like a McFarlane-esque, like to go back to like a very, because JRJR has a very like Miller-esque art style.
Yeah.
And it works for Miller because he's Frank Miller.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure John Romita Jr. has quite the same type of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like standing, I guess.
Yeah, standing. Yeah.
As Miller. So, you know, at least for me, I know a lot of people do not give Frank Miller a pass, which I think is incredibly unfair.
Yeah.
But for me, I give Frank Miller a pass for some of the art, even if I don't think it's his best or I don't even think it's good. But it's like what this man has done for the comic community,
right,
or for the comics in general, is like him and Neil Adams.
Yeah,
like we creators and readers alike all owe Miller a lot. So
yeah.
Anyways, I know that people are kind of done with that art style in the Amazing Spider-Man. They want to go back to just you know, I think that's also why people like the Chichetto Hickman stuff, is because it's just a lot different.
Yeah. Stylized, energetic, it's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feels acrobatic and all that, right?
And so, yeah. And then the story has just been, you know, Paul and just these things that have been going on in the Amazing Spider-Man title. Paul was the guy that MJ started dating after Peter, and he's just like the worst dude in the world. And so and it's just like these things that's like what are we doing? Like who's making these decisions? People just want like raw Spider-Man. Like just give us Peter getting beat up.
It's just hard, right? Because you're going over the same ground with the same character for 60 years.
Yeah.
And that's why these alternate universes are fun, because you can reboot, you can say, all right, well, in this universe he's married and he has kids, or or if you go to use DC as an example, well, in this universe Bruce Wayne has no money. You know? And it's just fun, because after a while you kind of have told all the stories. You can reboot things and recast things a little here and there, but it gets difficult after a while, So I think that's a big reason the Absolute and Ultimate Universes have been so well received, because we just want something new.
Yeah.
But we don't want to lose our characters. And this allows them to do it without violating anything.
Right.
It's awesome. It's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah.
We'll see what the actual plans are that they have.
Yeah. But 2025 was a great year for comic books.
Yeah.
It was a great year for comic books. If we can have as good a year in 2026, I think we'll all be happy. You know? The only thing that didn't come along for the ride in 2025 probably were the movies, but what we have a lot of, we saw some green shoots coming through the snow in 2025 that hint at really good things this year that are coming.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you this. So in the office that I work in, it's just like a not a corporate office. What's it called? Just
it's just an office
there's
building.
A bunch of office buildings. Yeah, that a bunch of different businesses. I mean, there's like therapists in there. There's lawyers. There's accountants. There's everything in there.
Daycare centers.
Yeah, there's everything. And so there's a guy in there who, he does money investment, financial stuff.
Yeah, right across the hall from you.
Yeah, and he's really nice guy. Doesn't collect, but is like will ask me like good questions and kind of just probe a little bit, and just to see like kind of what's it like in my world. He's, I think the most comics he's been in is like old New York newspaper cartoons, like that type of stuff. So anyway, so the other day when I was walking to my office, he was leaving, and we said hi as we're walking past each other, and then he asked me like how the end of the year was, and told him I was good. And then he asked me what the biggest book that I sold in 2025 was. So I shared that with him. And then he asked me kind of what I thought 2026 was going to look like. And I was just like, well, I've got a few plans for a few different things. Like, we'll kind of see as it all like flushes out, and, as the days go on. And he was like, based on what I've been reading, he's like, I think collectibles are going to have a big hit in 2026. And that shocked me, because he's like, from at least my interactions with him, like, is very like play it safe, like investor, like, kind of like the way that, just the things that he shared with me and all that type of stuff. So to hear him say that, I was like, whoa, interesting. Like I would not have expected, he's even described comics to me as like not even something to consider as like an asset, as like an investment asset. Just like, it's like, you got your stocks and your gold and crypto and stuff. And then like collectibles would be like, like leftover money that you can put into something here.
And if he's saying might be a good place to park your money.
Yeah. In 2026, I was like, wow.
Well, that would be great.
Well, no, I think he was saying as in like now these things are going to pop up, like the price.
Would be nice.
So
would be nice for all of us. We'd love that.
Hope he's right.
Well, I hope he's right. And then at the same time, because all of us are sellers and buyers, to some extent.
Yeah.
We love to buy and watch our books go up in value.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that means the other books that we haven't yet purchased now become more expensive. So it's like a catch-22. But we would prefer the industry to go up, not a bubble up, but up.
Yeah.
To be static or flat, because that just sucks all the energy out of it.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I hope he's right. Hope it starts with the Fantastic Four, actually. But no, any of it would be great.
Why? You're not going to sell any of them.
Well, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, those are not on the selling block at all. You know what I have considered though, because I keep looking over your shoulder at that FF7 there.
You want it?
Yeah, I do. I want it.
Don't you have an 8.5?
Not of that book.
Oh
no, my book's like a 3.5, I think. Like,
oh really?
I keep thinking that like the next thing for me to do with my FFs, now that I've gotten the first 12, would be to upgrade ones that maybe that any of them under 5 would be fun to upgrade to try to get them all north of a 5, except for 1 and 5. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Because I could, but that would be a lot of money. But like for instance, my FF6 is a 6.0 or a 5.5.
You have a 5.5, yeah.
My 12 is a 3.5, but I like that 3.5 because I think it was undergraded and I love the color, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
But then I have a few that are like 3s, 3.5s. I wouldn't mind getting those up to. And I keep looking over at yours, and I do believe that's a white pager.
It is, yeah.
So that's why I know you're not going to sell it to me. But
well, that is going to be. I'm selling that one. Yeah, I'm not selling this one though, but I'm, getting rid of that one. So.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's a beautiful copy. And it wouldn't cost me. I wouldn't be out of pocket as much as I think, because I would 100% sell mine.
Yeah, I mean, you can bring yours tomorrow, and then you can, if you sell that, then we can talk about this one.
Okay, to be continued. I'm serious, because I mean it's
a gorgeous book. Yeah, I'll pull it off the wall when we're done recording.
I'm negotiating against myself right now. It's an amazing book. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think it's worth like $950. See, I gotta give a reasonable inflated number.
No, we only make data-driven sales here, right?
No, we make emotionally driven sales.
Well, that's a fact. That is a fact.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching our first episode of 2026. Hope you guys have a good start to your.
Yeah, absolutely, you guys. Happy New Year.
Good luck on your collecting goals. I mean, I'm acting like we're not gonna see you guys next week.
But let us know again what your goals are. Put it in the comments section.
Let us know.
That'd be fun.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we will catch you guys next week.
Peace.
See ya.